Spotify or another app. All right. We're recording? Is this recording? Yes. Great. So welcome everyone to our workshop today. It's called the Physiology of Breathing. Basically, it's for us to understand how we breathe and the importance of breathing correctly. Breathing determines the quality of our lives in many ways. Just by improving the quality of our breathing, we can enhance our life in so many different ways. Energy, stress, anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, or even just having more energy in your everyday. All of this depends on the way you breathe, okay? So our autonomous nervous system, which is the one that controls, our stress responses, is directly connected to the breath. When we feel like we have some danger around us, and we feel triggered by the environment, the first thing that happens, our breath changes. And it changes because our body is getting ready to fight or to fly, to run away, right? So for us to be ready to fight or to run, we need more oxygen in our muscles. So then our muscles can produce more energy to do the activity, right? So the way we function, the muscles, when they move, or when we produce an activity, it creates combustion, right? So the moment we start moving, or the moment we have a perception that we need to move quickly, our body, the first thing we'll do, will speed up the breath, and it will try to bring more oxygen into our muscles. So immediately we start breathing faster. So we can reverse this by using the breath to control the nervous system. What I'm trying to say here is that every time your nervous system gets triggered, the first things that will change is your breath. And then it will increase your heart rate. You will increase the oxygen in your blood, and you start having all these different reactions, like open your pupils and start sweating. So the first thing that happens is the breath. But if we learn how to use the breath to actually manipulate, in a way, our autonomous nervous system, we can completely change the quality of our lives. And we can do this with the breath. So today, we're going to start with the basics, basically how we breathe. How does the body actually breathe, okay? So welcome, everyone. I'm very excited and pleased to be here. Thank you for joining us. And we are recording the session. So if you would like to review it or share it with other people, I will send you an email tomorrow with the recording, okay? So welcome. So to get started, this is a disclaimer, and it's very important that we discuss this because all the content that I'm sharing here is a guidance, and it doesn't indicate any commitment to a particular course of action. What I'm saying is, like, this is information for you to consider and for you to be aware, but you have to see how you're going to use the information for your own benefit. Okay? This class doesn't qualify you to offer any type of breathing or breathwork or any type of services. This is just information for you to expand your awareness and understanding of how we breathe, okay? And if you want to do any advanced practice, or if you want to share this with others, make sure that you always have the supervision of a qualified practitioner, okay? Because playing with the breath can also bring some risk to the body and the health. And if you have any questions about this, please make sure you ask me during the class or later as well. And finally, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician, okay? So anything in regards to your own health, make sure you ask a qualified practitioner, a qualified doctor to guide you in the right direction. Because I'm not a doctor, as I mentioned before. I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a breathwork facilitator and a mindfulness coach. And I bring all the perspectives I share that come from the yoga science. Okay, so this is come from yoga and what yoga tell us about the physiology of breathing. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to hear from you. Why are you here? And you can tap it there on the chat. Some of you, as I read on your forms, have problem breathing, or you feel like your breath is very shallow. Some of you would like to increase the quality of your life. Some of you would like to know how to manage your nervous system. And I know that some of you also just want to, have more awareness about how we should breathe. So yeah, if you want to share it on the chat, make sure that you share there. Lucas saying to learn. Yes. So for some of you, you might have learned some of these things already in my previous courses. But it's always something new you can learn, okay? So speech pathologist with a special interest in breathing. Great, perfect. Maybe you can help me with my speech as well. English is my second language. And I've done a lot of work to improve my speech as well. And breathing is a main element that I learned over the years. I came to Australia about 18 years ago to learn English, actually. And then I decided to stay. And then I'm here now. It's a long story, but that's a bit of my story there. To learn more, Amelia, expand and learn through yoga from Sue. Learn tools to regulate your breath for sleep. Great. And to quiet your mind. Yeah, the breath is the most effective tool to help you quiet your mind and to go to sleep. If we learn how to use the breath, we can do all of that. To get the concept of a good breath, problem breathing properly. Great. Awesome. We will cover some of these things. Okay. So let's get started. How we breathe. This is a question for you. And you don't have to answer, but I invite you to consider. Have you ever asked yourself how we actually breathe? And let me bring myself back here. Yeah, have you considered how we breathe? How we use the lungs and how the oxygen gets inside and what is the process? So breathing is a very interesting process because the lungs themselves, they don't move, right? The lungs as organs, they're just hanging there inside a kind of vacuum. And then the only way the lungs will move is by changing the air pressure with the outside and the inside your lungs. So basically, the lungs are there, and the only way we can inflate those lungs is by expanding the cavities in which the lungs are held, right? And that's your chest. So you have your lungs, and all of this is sealed. You have a sealed compartment here with the ribs, with the intercostal muscles, with all your muscles around, your thorax. And then below, in this part, we have the diaphragm, which is like that. So for us to breathe, this cavity needs to expand. And naturally, have you seen babies when they just born, how they breathe? Or even the dogs or the animals. You look at an animal when it's sleeping like a dog sleeping or a cat sleeping, or a baby that is little. When they breathe, their belly goes like that. It's like a balloon, right? And all of us, we are designed to breathe in that way, right? To breathe through the belly and inflate this balloon, which is our belly, actually. However, as we grow older, we start changing this behavior and we start using the intercostal muscles and some of us even the shoulders to breathe. All right? But naturally, the way we should breathe is in the tummy. And it's called diaphragmatic breathing, right? So basically, the tummy goes out, the diaphragm comes down, we change the air pressure inside the thorax, and then with that, the lungs will inflate, right? It's like a reverse process. And then when we release the tension in the thorax, and the thorax come back to this normal size, the air will come out. And that's the natural breath way of breathing. However, you know, we don't, most of us don't do it that way. Why? First of all, because as we were growing up, things happen to us, right? And when things happen to us, we go like, and we start breathing in our chest. Also, because of the way we live today, our sedentary way of living, we're always sitting, right? We don't exercise enough. So what happens is that all the muscles that, are meant to be allowing us or helping us to breathe naturally and effortlessly, right? They start getting tense and tight. So then it's more difficult to breathe. So then we have to use more force to expand our chest or our shoulders. And that's the main problem with breathing today. So learning how to breathe properly, diaphragmatically, which is the way we should breathe, like in the belly, right, is super important for health. Why? Because there are a wide variety of health conditions that are associated to breathing in your chest. If you breathe in your chest, you are going to be creating anxiety and stress 24/7, even if you have no problems in your life, just by the way you breathe. We're just talking physiologically. We're not even talking like energetically or from the yoga perspective, bringing the energy down all the way down to your base chakra and grounding yourself, because there's another element of energetic grounding. When people breathe deep in their belly, their voice is deeper, and also you can see they're strong. They're standing strong, breathing their belly. The warrior, like grounded, strong. You can feel like if you push them, you won't move them. However, the people that breathe here in the chest, you can hear it in their voice. And it's like the energy is here and they're very like ungrounded. And that's for the same reason, because all the energy is here. So what happened? The energy is here. So the mind goes crazy as well because it's too much energy here. Instead, if we breathe down, bring the energy down, the prana from a yogic perspective, right? We bring the prana down and then we start grounding, then all of it, even your voice will change and you will feel more grounded and more solid. And just by breathing like that, you will increase your confidence because you feel more grounded, more confident. You will feel more secure in yourself because you're bringing the energy through all the lower chakras, which are the ones that kind of hold you, right? And that's the problem basically with spiritual work these days, which I don't support very much because everyone wants to go up there and we focus so much on kind of ascension and going there and connecting with something and awakening. And it's like, man, wait, you need to first ground yourself. You don't even know how to breathe properly. You need to bring the energy down so you feel grounded, solid, confident. And that will allow you to resolve all your problems that are in your life closer. And then you can go somewhere else, right? So for me, it's all about that. It's about understanding the importance of breathing in your belly on your everyday basis, okay? Except when you are exercising. If you are exercising, it's a different type of breathing, right? But your everyday basis, you gotta breathe in your belly because it brings a lot of physiological benefits, and it's the way we should be breathing. We are designed to breathe in the belly, right? We are not designed to breathe in the chest. And also because energetically, what it does to your system as well. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and feel free to ask questions. You can write there anything you want about this topic, right? So that's how we should breathe. So any questions, anyone? We good so far? Great. So I invite you to do an exercise. I invite you to, first of all, make sure you're sitting correctly. When we sit like that, or we're kind of not sitting properly or straight, you have to imagine that your spine is like an antenna. This is just more yoga stuff, right? As an antenna that if your antenna is like not straight, your signal is going to be a little bit not great. So your spine is your antenna with beyond. And that's yoga, right? Your chakras and all of that has to do with that. But not just that. If you are not straight, right, and you are a little bit bent or your tummy is in, then what happens is that you don't have enough space to breathe properly, right? So that's why when we are, not straight, it's more difficult to breathe. When you sing as well, like I sing, I've been singing lately, which I'm not great at, but I'm singing with that thing there, right? With the harmonium, and we chant mantras in kirtan, and we do all these events, and I'm singing now, so I need to make sure that when I play, I have to be straight, so I can have the right space for me to breathe properly all the way down, have enough air, and then project my voice, right? And all of that has to do with the breathing. So if I'm in this position, it's not great. So, thank you, Lucas. Lucas is saying that I'm a very good singer. Thank you, brother. It's good to have friends in the room that can support you no matter what you do, what you say. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. And so, position first. So let's sit properly. Straight spine. So I invite you to close your eyes, or perhaps just lower your gaze. And I invite you to observe the breathing. Observe it without changing anything. Don't try to change it to the belly. Just observe your natural breath. Observe the air going in and observe the air going out. Observe how your body moves. Observe if your chest is moving, if your belly is moving, if your ribs are changing position, if your chest or your shoulders are going up. Observe any tension on your neck, on your ribs, on your belly. Observe that. Now, when I count 3, I invite you to do a very, very deep inhale. And as you do it, I invite you to observe which part of your body, to which part of the body your breath is going. Is it going to the chest, to the tummy, to the side ribs, to the shoulders? Okay, let's do it together. So let's exhale to synchronize. 1, 2, 3, deep inhale all the way in. Deep inhale, keep going, keep going. Exhale. One more time, deep inhale. Observe your body. All the way in. Big release. Last one, in. Observe. All the way in. Exhale. Back to your normal breath. Becoming aware of our body is very important. Most of us are not aware. So you might have discovered something today just with that exercise. Did your chest go up? Did your shoulders go up? Or did your tummy go up? Out. Sorry. So let's do it one more time. Whenever you're ready, deep inhale all the way in and observe if your chest is going up or your tummy is going out. Big exhale. 2 more times. In, all the way in. Big exhale, long exhale, slow and gentle. Last one, in. Big release. Gentle breathing now. In the nose and out through the nose. See if you can bring the breath all the way down to your pelvic floor. So breathe in deeper and feel the breath going into your lower belly. You can put your right hand on your lower belly and feel the air going there. Just gentle breathing, but see if you can move the breath lower. Keep breathing gentle. For some of you, it might be very difficult. That's okay. Just be aware. Now, bring your hand to your upper chest and breathe into your chest now. So when you breathe in, you lift your chest. Now bring your hand again lower into your lower belly and breathe into your hands. See if you can breathe a bit deeper this time. So a bit more conscious and a bit deeper. Okay, so deeper into your lower belly. In the nose and out through the nose. Deeper inhale in the belly, all the way in. One more time, all the way in into the belly and release. Now bring your hand on your chest, and your upper chest, and breathe deep in your chest, all the way in. Feel your chest lifting all the way up. So breathe a few times with your hand on your chest. And feel your chest expanding and lifting. Last one. And big release. So back to your normal breathing, gentle breathing. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Who would like to share your experience? Who would like to unmute yourself and share how that was for you? Please. So we can, if you felt a big difference, you could feel your chest going up or your tummy going out, or if it was challenging for you to breathe in your belly. So please unmute yourself and share. Okay, I think I need to help you unmute. Is that you, Yori?
Yes. Hi, Christian. It actually felt easier to breathe in the belly, and it felt like
big. Oh, there you are. Yep.
Sorry, can you hear me now? It felt easier to breathe in the belly, and when
I cannot hear you myself, but maybe everyone can. Give me 1 second. All right, start again, please.
Sorry, it felt easier to breathe in the belly, and it felt like more rounded in the whole section, right around to my back. It felt like the whole pelvis area had air, like an expansion. It felt wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to share?
Yes. What I recognized is that I can breathe out much, much more than I can breathe in. I can't breathe in that much.
Okay. We will cover, that's something we will cover today. Okay. Now, the amount of air you put in is going to be the same one that you put out. It could be easier to exhale than to inhale because of the tightness of your diaphragm or your ribs. And this happens when we don't move too much. Like if that's why yoga is so important and moving the body, because otherwise we start getting stiff and then it's much, much difficult to breathe. not just that, like if we are under stress and with anxiety as well, that also can limit our breathing, because especially if we have been breathing in the chest for a long time, because then we're so used to breathe here on the chest that it's very difficult to actually train the body to go and breathe again in the belly and the diaphragm. Okay? So we will share a bit more about that later. Anyone else would like to share?
Okay.
Yep, some.
I'd like to share, Christian.
Yep.
So for myself, because I do a lot of yoga, I actually found it really difficult to breathe into the chest, especially into the upper chest. Belly breathing was much, much easier.
Right. Yeah, that's what happened. Like for me, I've been practicing this for a long time. I teach this every week, and it's very difficult for me to breathe in the chest because I have accustomed my body to breathe in the belly, you know? Thank you, Amelia. Sam, do you need help with unmuting yourself? Let me
Yeah,
see.
can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Yeah, great. I found initially pressure in my diaphragm, or more so in my sternum, and the expansion was mainly in my ribs until it felt like I got out of my head and actually just dropped into the physical doing as opposed to the thinking. But there was a lot of tightness around the rib area. It felt like those muscles.
Right. That's very common, by the way, and that's because, again, it's the movement, yoga allow us, that's why we do all these things in yoga, to open the ribs, and then you go the other side. So even when you do any breathing practices with yoga, it is recommended to do a full yoga class before you do any pranayama or breathing technique. So we can open up the chest and we can release the muscles, so then we can breathe more easier. Right? Okay, so let's keep moving. If you have any, challenging to belly, iPhone 3. Who is iPhone 3? Put your name there so I know what is your name. It's called iPhone 3. You had challenges breathing in your belly. Great, that's good, because you're here now. You will learn how to change that. Now, it's very important for everyone, if you are watching the recording or you are here, that learning how to breathe in your belly, it doesn't mean that you will start breathing in your belly straight away. You will become aware of how to do it, but you will need to train yourself to breathe in your belly, especially if you have been breathing in your chest for a long time. Okay? So let's keep moving. I'm going to keep sharing here. Any questions, put them in the chat, okay? So there are three ways we breathe, okay? The mechanism of breathing involves three types of breathing. Number one is the abdominal or diaphragmatic breathing, which is what I've been talking to you about, which is in the belly or with the diaphragm. Then you have the thoracic breathing, which is in your chest or your ribs. So your ribs will go out and your chest will go up. And then finally, you have clavicular or shoulder breathing. Those are the three ways we can breathe. Or that's how breathing is being qualified, or that's the three type of breathing. Now, the way we should always breathe is abdominal breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. That's the way we should breathe all the time. We are designed for it. Unless you are doing some high intense exercise, or you are doing some particular practice with the intention to provoke a reaction in the body. For example, we have many pranayama practices where you breathe, abdominal, thoracic, clavicular, or thoracic for certain purposes, okay? But otherwise, we should always breathe in the abdomen, in the belly. So thoracic or chest breathing has a whole lot of consequences, and a whole lot of effects in the body. It's less efficient. It requires more muscular effort. Also, the way the lungs are designed, we're not designed, the lungs are designed to absorb the most amount of oxygen in the bottom part of the lungs. So I'm going to show you here a few things that might interest you. So these are your lungs, right? Your lungs are divided in lobes. And the lobes are like sealed compartments, all right? So you have 2 lobes on the left and 3 lobes on the right. Why? Because on your left, you have your heart. So your heart occupies some space here. Your heart will go around here. Your diaphragm is at the bottom here. So actually, your heart is sitting on the diaphragm. Kind of. Yeah, it's sitting on the diaphragm. And then here you have 1 lobe, the upper lobe, and the bottom lobe. And here on the left, you have the upper, the middle, and the lower lobe. So the lower lobes of the lungs are the ones that have the most amount of blood vessels to absorb oxygen. So the most efficient part of your lungs is at the bottom. The less efficient part of your lungs is at the top, right? You have more lobes here. Now, as I mentioned before, every lobe is like a sealed compartment, and every compartment has a bronchus. Bronchus, how you say it in English? And it's like a tree. It's fascinating. It's like an inverted tree. So it's very important to understand that the lower lobes of the lungs, the lower compartments of the lungs, absorb the most amount of oxygen. They have more blood, so it's more efficient for breathing. Okay? So here you can see that. So within each lobe, it's like a tree. And it's fascinating because it's the opposite of the trees outside, with the difference that, your lungs absorb the oxygen and expel the carbon dioxide. And then your trees absorb the carbon dioxide and expel the oxygen. And that's how we live in balance with the earth. How fascinating is that? So this thing here, see these little things? They're called alveoli. And the alveoli, is responsible to exchange the oxygen and the carbon dioxide with the blood. So this is where the blood exchange oxygen. It's fascinating how it works. So this is the end point of your respiratory system. This is where it ends. So the air comes here, and then here you transfer the oxygen, you drop the oxygen, and you exhale the carbon dioxide. So it's the end point of the respiratory system where the lungs and the blood exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. And yeah, so when you inhale, the lobes expand, the little balls there expand, and as you exhale, they contract. And expel the carbon dioxide. You have 480 millions of those little things inside your lungs. That's a lot, So if you were to expand those things, the lobes, it's like 20 times the surface of your body. However big you are, 20 times the surface of your body, that's how much alveoli you have in your lungs. It can cover an area of 130 square meters, which is quite fascinating. And it's like an inverted tree. If you put it around, it's the same. It's very important to understand this because knowing that the lower lobes have more efficiency allow us to understand that, we should always breathe in the belly. When you breathe here, if you breathe on your chest, the air is directed to the upper lobes, not to the lower lobes. Okay? So this is your diaphragm and your rib cage. So here you can see it's like a parachute, and and it's like this, like a dome shape. It's like that. And above here, your lung is sitting, like here, see? And your heart is there. So your heart is on top of the diaphragm, and your lungs are there. So every time you breathe, this diaphragm goes like this. You know, it goes down. With every inhale, it goes down. So when it goes down, it expands the cavity. There is a vacuum inside your chest, and then your lungs are filled with air. Okay? All the way. And then when you exhale, you relax your diaphragm, it goes up. You know when you have hiccups? Hiccups is when the diaphragm does this. It's your diaphragm jumping. I don't know why it happened, but hiccups is because your diaphragm is jumping. When you yawn like this, it's the diaphragm relaxing because it's too tired, so it's a relaxation of the diaphragm as well. So the diaphragm is very important because it allows you to breathe in the way we should breathe. But most people, the diaphragm is kind of stuck there because they have never used it. The diaphragm is a muscle. What happens with your muscle if you don't use them? What happens with the diaphragm if you don't use it? It atrophies like any muscles. You know, so then you want to breathe on your belly and you say, oh, it's so difficult for me to breathe in my belly. Yeah, because you have never used the diaphragm. And that's like any other muscle, it will get stuck there. You know, it doesn't mean that you will not be able to use it again. It just means that you have to go and exercise again and be more conscious about how to breathe in your belly. Because breathing in your chest has a lot of consequences that I'm going to share in a moment. So that's how we should breathe. Now, we have a chest diaphragm or a thorax diaphragm, and then we have a pelvic diaphragm. So you also have a diaphragm on your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is it is a diaphragm that will move with the upper diaphragm. So when we breathe, we go like this. But what happened? What happened is you are sitting all day long in front of the computer, or you are driving all day long, and we see the bottom diaphragm is also stuck. And that brings a lot of negative consequences, you know, not just to your breathing, but to your sexual activity, to all other things that can impact your health. And I want to talk a bit more about it in a moment. So it's very important to understand that this diaphragm needs to be flexible. Now, how do you tone your pelvic diaphragm? Well, by practicing yoga. You stretch, you bend forward, all the things that we do to open our sacrum or to stretch our legs. But if you don't move your body, all these things get stuck, and then it's very difficult to breathe again. So, any questions about the diaphragm in this part of the presentation? Now, see that's your pelvic diaphragm. And again, there are muscles. And if we don't use it, then you have incontinence problems. You know, they have all these sort of problems when you get older. When we're young, we don't worry about it. But then when you're 70 or 60 and you start sneezing and you can't, you know, when you're 70 or 80 and you need to kind of, that's why we need to be aware of all these things. It's very important. So, chest breathing is less efficient because you have, I already explained why, right? It's less efficient. It requires more muscular effort, so we shouldn't breathe in our chest. It stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, flight or fight, your stress response. Just by breathing your chest, you know, your nervous system, your automatic nervous system will think that there is something around you that is triggering you, so you need to get stressed. Increase your heart rate, decrease your blood flow and oxygen to the heart and the brain. So just by breathing on your chest, as you're doing your everyday thing, you might be by the beach in the Bahamas, or you know, I don't know, Bondi Beach or Coulomb Beach, whatever, Nusa Beach, whatever you like. And you might be there relaxing, and as you breathe on your chest, your heart rate is going to be up, and you're going to be stressed just by the way you're breathing. So it provokes mental stress and tension because of all of the above that we already shared. It brings the air to the middle lobe of your lungs, which has less supply of blood, so there's less exchange of oxygen. So it's less efficient, which means that even if you breathe the same amount of air in the chest, your lungs will absorb less oxygen because there are less lobes in that part of the lungs, you know? So it requires the alveoli, this little thing, to overstretch to capture the oxygen. So if you keep doing this over time, they lose elasticity, and over time, it can produce asthma or emphysema, right? If you're always breathing here, especially if you need to breathe because you are doing exercises or something, or you're always breathing fast, it can affect your alveoli in a very negative way. Yeah, and because your heart is sitting on top of your diaphragm, the heart, when you breathe, your heart will move with the diaphragm. So it's like a little massage there. You are stimulating your diaphragm. Sorry, your heart. But if you do the opposite, it can produce heart abnormalities over time. I'm not aware of those exercises, Tiago. Tiago is asking a question. I'm not aware of that. I'm sorry. I cannot answer that. But I can look for it, and I can email you after with my comments. Thank you for asking. Yeah. Why do we start breathing in the chest? Because things have happened to us in our lives, and we get stressed, and we start breathing in the chest, and then we get used to it because we live in a very stressful society. So the stress is everywhere, and then we become wired to stress, and in the same way we become wired to stress, we become wired to breathing in the chest, and it becomes a habit. Yeah, this is an important one. Some people that have experienced trauma, like acute trauma, they will freeze the diaphragm. They immobilize it, to hold back from fear, from aggression, sexual aggression, or other powerful feelings. So it's a energetic type of, this comes from yoga as well, okay? But it comes from yoga. So to kind of isolate the energy from the lower chakras. And that's how people then they feel like, oh, I feel disconnected from my heart. I can feel sexual energy, but never with feelings. This is a yoga thing, right? Because there are some disconnection energetically here. And the diaphragm is kind of the doorway, right? It's like, what they say, that the breath is the doorway to the subtle level of existence. That's what we say in yoga. The breath is the doorway to go to the other dimensions of reality. And that's why the breath, when we're not breathing properly, it gets stuck in all the material, mundane problems because we live here and we never go lower, we never connect with those areas. So that's a really important point, how some of us might freeze our diaphragm to avoid feeling, especially after acute trauma. Yeah, so it develops this connection with the lower part of the body, which is what I explained at the beginning. You feel ungrounded, you lose confidence because you're breathing here and your energy is all here. So your diaphragm goes here. You see that? So what happens if the diaphragm needs to go from here all the way down? What's happened to your liver? What happened to your stomach? What happened to your intestine? What happened to all the content that is here? It needs to go down, right? So every time you breathe, if you breathe diaphragmatically, you are squeezing your liver. You are squeezing your stomach. You are squeezing your intestine, meaning You are helping your body detox. You are helping your body digest your food. You're helping your body, do the whole digestive process, because actually the air doesn't pass this. It's not like you breathe and the air goes in the belly. You don't have air in the belly, By the way, inside of you, there is no empty space. Everything is used by something. You know what I mean? So it's like in your tummy, there is no space. Have one thing next to the other, as you can see here. It's all like cramped inside. So when you breathe in your belly, there is no air in your belly. All the insides of your belly, your guts and your tummy and all the stuff comes out, boom, and down. That's what you're doing. You're not putting air there, You might imagine that it's air, there's no air. It's just all your insides, they go up, and that's your belly coming up. So that's part of our natural design. We are meant to do that, to massage our internal organs for detoxification, to digest our food, and all the rest. Have you noticed that people that have stress or breathe here usually have digestive problems? Or they accumulate, fluids in their system, or they don't detox properly? That's because by not breathing in the diaphragm, we are not doing all the natural things that we are meant to be doing every time we breathe. You are detoxing 24/7. How amazing is that? You know what I mean? 24/7 detoxification and helping you digestion. And we're not doing it because we're breathing in the chest, if you are breathing in your chest. So see, so here is another photo of it, like that's your liver, that's your diaphragm. So the diaphragm is like this, and when we breathe, it needs to go like that down. Can you see that? Imagine what it's doing to your liver, what it's doing to your stomach. It is squeezing it all the way down to help detox and break down all the toxins in your body to release things, So this is an actual, this is a more accurate way of seeing it. So your liver here, so the diaphragm is kind of embedded in your liver. So it moves with it. And if your diaphragm is stuck there, or quite the opposite is going up, it's doing all the functions of your detoxification of your body, and your digestions are not in the right way. I hope this is helping. Please make sure you comment there and let me know if you have any questions, if this is helpful or not, so I know how we're going. Again, same, see, all of this stuff. That's how it is. So you see how the diaphragm goes? So when you breathe, your lungs will come down, inflate down, and all of this will get pushed. Fascinating. So, any questions about this? Thank you, Jody. So, the importance of yoga practice and stretching to improve breathing and practicing any breathing techniques. If you like to practice pranayama or breathwork or any type of breathing technique, before we do that, we must do some stretching. We must do some yoga. It's very important because that's going to allow you to release your muscles, to open up your body for the breath. Otherwise, if you are like stuck or like a stone, they're like a rock, how will you breathe if you are not, moving your body? Remember, your lungs will not move by themselves. The only way your lungs will move, it is an empty cavity where they are expand. You expand your chest, you expand your diaphragm, and the lungs will inflate. It's very important. So a correct breathing practice, if you want to practice this, okay? This is what I'm going to give you this is homework for you to practice, okay? The first step is to prepare the body for breathing. How do you prepare the body for breathing? Well, practice some yoga, do some stretching, you open the sides of the body, one side, the other side, with twists, twisting, open up your chest, bending forward to open up your sacrum as well. It's very important to move. If you are not moving, you're going to have a very difficult time trying to breathe properly. Breath awareness. What is breath awareness? We did this already at the beginning, Are you aware how you're breathing right now? Are you aware where the air is going? And awareness is one of the most important things, because when you're aware, then we can do something about it. Okay? So you become aware of the breath. After that, we do conscious breathing, meaning I breathe consciously now. Now I start directing the breath consciously instead of just letting the body breathe in the way I have trained myself to do it. Because the way you breathe now is just the way you train yourself. You train yourself to breathe in the way you breathe, unconsciously most of the time, you know. But if you did train yourself to breathe in that way, you can train yourself to breathe properly now, okay? And it's not difficult if you follow these steps. And then finally, you practice conscious diaphragmatic breathing, which is pretty much bringing the air in the belly. We did some of this before, okay? Those are the steps. And you can do that every morning, you know, 5 minutes. Stretch your body in the morning, stretch your body, open your chest, do some movement, and then breath awareness, and then conscious breathing, and then conscious diaphragmatic breathing. Over time, you start skipping some steps. So you prepare the body for breathing, and then you do conscious diaphragmatic breathing because you become more aware of your body. Some of you are already there. So you can just stretch the body, become aware of your breathing, and then, okay, I'm going to breathe diaphragmatically, and then you start doing that, you know, in your belly. Okay? Let's do it together. Okay? Let's do a practice. So I'm going to stop the presentation. You need space. You might need to stand up as well. Okay? My settings a little bit. All right. All right. You see me there? Look very tiny. We'll move the lights a little bit. We got more space. All right. So first of all, let's check the body a little bit. I'm gonna loosen up the body. Checking up the body. And your arms. One leg and then the other. It's good. It's good to move the body. Okay. So stand straight. I'm going to inhale all the way up. Open your chest. And then down. We don't bend forward yet. Just your arms. One more time. In up. Open your chest. And then down. One more time. In. And then down. Now this time, we inhale, palms together. And then bending forward from the hips all the way down. Relax your neck. See, you can bring your feet like pigeon toe. When you do pigeon toe, it opens up your sacrum. So it expands your pelvic floor by doing that. Very gentle, we come up again. Inhale. Palms together, all the way up. Exhale, bending forward. Relax your neck. Inhale up, palms together. Now, as we exhale, grab your right wrist and stretch to your left. Gentle. Don't overdo it. Inhale back to center. We exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Stretch to the other side. Inhale back to center. Stretch. Inhale back to center. Relax your hands. Good. So this time, inhale up. Twist to the left. Bring your hands on your hips. Twisting from the belly button. Inhale, hands up, back to center. Twist to the other side. Inhale up, hands up. Can't stop. Now this time, observe what I'm doing first. So when I inhale, palms to the front, then open your chest all the way up, okay? So palms to the front first. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale down. Back to center, sorry. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, back to center. Last one in. Back to center. Okay, relax your hands. Shake. All right. Let's do something different now. I want you to observe my belly. You see my belly there? So what I'm gonna do just with my belly, I'm gonna do some exercises. I'm gonna push in and out like this. So pushing your belly all the way out and then all the way in. I do it slow. All the way in, all the way out. All the way in, all the way up. All the way in, slow. All the way up. When you lower belly, in, and then out. In, out. All the way in, all the way out. Opening your belly. Now, stop. Now, next time you do that, when you push your belly out, expand your buttocks. So like expanding your pelvic floor. So you push your belly out and you kind of open your buttocks at the same time, okay? And then in and contract your buttocks. You push down. So open the pelvic floor when you push the belly out, pelvic floor open, squish your pelvic floor, belly in. Don't worry about the breath. We're not breathing yet, okay? And then you do fast, like 10 times. Good. That's a really good exercise to start releasing your belly and get used to that. All right? You do that. Now, what you can do now is to say, push my belly out and inhale. Exhale, push it in. Push out, inhale. Push it in, exhale. And then just breathe like that, you know? And then just keep breathing like that. So we inhale when we push it out, and then exhale. We are exaggerating, right? That's not how you're gonna breathe when you every day. We're just exaggerating. You push your belly out and inhale. Then in. Inhale. And then exhale. See that? Good. Good job. All right. Let's do some breathing. So find a comfortable seat. How are we doing? We're good? How we time? All right, so let me bring the lights back. All right. So find a comfortable seat. Make sure your antenna is straight. Okay. So closing your eyes. Becoming aware of your breath. Consciously bringing your air all the way down to your pelvic floor. So with every inhale, feel your pelvic floor expanding and feel your belly going out. And with every exhale, you relax your belly and you relax your pelvic floor. Imagine a white light going in with the breath in the nose, into the neck, into the chest, all the way down into the belly, and all the way to the base of your pelvic floor. Stay with the breath. Keep breathing. In the nose and out through the nose. Deep inhale all the way down into the belly and the pelvic floor. The next inhale, count for the count of 4 on the inhale and exhale for the count of 4 as well. Make sure you don't speed it up. So go slow. In for 4, out for 4. Stay with the breath. Now, on the next inhale, we breathe even deeper. So we count for 6 now. Inhale for the count of 6, all the way down, and then we exhale for the count of 6. Relaxing your chest, relaxing your shoulders, making sure that the belly comes out and your pelvic floor expands every time you inhale. In for 6, out for 6. Make sure you don't speed it up. Gentle breathing. The next inhale, we start counting for 8 now. In the nose for 8, out the nose for 8. Breathing deep into the belly, all the way down. If it's challenging for you to breathe for 8, reduce the force in which you are inhaling. So inhale a bit more gentle. There is less air going in. The next inhale, let's try for 10. So inhale for the count of 10, then exhale for the count of 10. Again, to all of you, just reduce the force you are using to inhale, and that will give you more time to inhale. So in the inhale, expand your belly and expand your pelvic floor. On the exhale, we relax. Keep breathing. We inhale for 10 and we exhale for 10. The next exhale, come back to your normal breath. If you are back in your normal breath, keep your eyes closed. I invite you to breathe in for the count of 1 and then exhale for the count of 1. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Very gentle and very slow. So now you breathe in for 1, hold your breath for 3, exhale for 1, hold your breath for 3, inhale for 1, hold your breath for 3, exhale for 1, hold your breath for 3. Keep doing that. So you're just breathing in and out for 1 and holding your breath for the count of 3 in between. In the belly. And feel how easy this is now after you exercise. It's a gentle, very gentle inhale for 1. When you're ready, deep inhale in the nose, all the way in, deep inhale, all the way in, deep inhale, exhale through the mouth with a big sigh of relief. Last one in, all the way in, deep inhale in the belly, all the way in, big exhale. Back to your normal breathing gentle in the nose and out through the nose. You can open your eyes. How do you feel? So actually the way we should breathe is the way you were breathing at the end. Like gentle inhale with a pause and then a gentle exhale. That's the breathing. And you're in a relaxed state. That's the aim. But you cannot do that if you are stressed. Okay? So observe how aware you are of your breathing now. Observe your breath and observe the movements in your body. You probably feel more free, more open because of the exercise we did, the stretches and the exercise in the tummy. Like I can breathe now just because I did this with you. Now I feel like, oh, I can so much space inside of me to breathe. You know? Any questions, any comments? Anyone would like to say something? You want to raise your hand or something? Let me know. Or put it in the chats, okay? Otherwise, we keep going because we only have like 15 minutes. I usually run one day events with this content. So let's keep going. Any questions? If you have any questions, put them in the chat so I can answer them at the end, okay? Now, if you feel a bit dizzy or a bit like, oh, a bit sleepy, the first stage of relaxing is becoming sleepy. It's normal. It means your nervous system is relaxing. Now, if you feel a little bit, that was a bit too much and you feel a bit anxious because of it, that's because the mind was too busy trying to do it right. So you're probably a perfectionist or you like to do things right and you were thinking too much. Yeah. So Christina, yeah, that's okay. It's part of the practice. 6 is really good. You know, just keep practicing. Do what you can. That's for all of you. You know, go with 6 and then you start expanding. You know, ultimately you will do 20 and 20. That's what the yogis do. Okay. The idea was to test how far could we go. So 6 is okay. Just keep practicing and you will now open your lungs a bit more. Very relax, Emilia. All right, so, oh, you're not seeing the presentation. Let me put the presentation back. Some of you have seen this before. A yogi measures the span of life by the number of breath, no years. What the yogis found is that if you breathe faster, you die faster, right? How amazing is that? The mammals that breathe faster, they die faster. So if you live a life with stress, when you are breathing faster all the time because you're anxious, you're stressed, you're going to die faster. So they discovered that the length of your life is counted in the number of breaths you take, not in the number of years. So what happens is that if you breathe slower, you live longer, right? So by breathing in your belly, you optimize the breath, so you need less amount of breath per minute, and you live longer. But you breathe in your chest, and you have shallow breathing, and you do shallow breathing all day long, you're gonna cut your lifespan for 10 years. You know, when I learned this stuff, I thought I wish I knew this earlier. But it's never too late, you know, to improve the quality of our lives and to live a bit longer. So the beauty of this is that breathing is the only physiological process that you can do consciously and unconsciously, or voluntarily and involuntarily, which means that if you're aware of it now, you can change it because you can slow down your breath just by applying the things that you learned today. So then you can expand the length of your life. So yeah, the yogis found that mammals who breathe faster, they die younger, like the mouse, for example. The mouse breathes 55 to 65 times per minute. They live 3 to 4 years. The dog, a bit slower, so 10 to 13. The cats, 10 to 15 times, so they live a bit longer. What about the elephants? So the elephant breathes 4 to 5 times per minute. So they live up to 70 years, which is like 70 years in an elephant environment, in the jungle, right? It's not like us. We have a bed and we have warm, we have food, right? We live in a very comfortable place. But imagine if the elephant had all the, you know, all the things that we have. They will live for much, much longer. What about the whale? Some of the whales, not all the whales, some of the whales breathe 1 times per hour, and they can live up to 100 years. Again, in a whale environment, in the water, with all the things that happen in the ocean. So, I want to be a whale and breathe once every hour and then live, 500 years. I don't know. So it's up to you. It's like what you do with your breath. So becoming aware of how fast you're breathing and using mindfulness techniques, yoga, meditation, to release stress, breathing in the diaphragm to slow down your breath. It's going to help you a lot. So conscious breathing. Normal rate is 15 breaths per minute, which is like 21,700 times per 24 hours. And with that, you live up to 75 to 85 years. But if you breathe 10 times per minute, so if you slow down your breath, you can live up to 100 years. That's why the yogis practice all these techniques to slow down your breath. And that's why pranayama is so important, and the practice of yoga. So the physical part of it, I cannot emphasize enough how important is yoga in your life to help you slow down your breath and to become more mindful as well. But if you have stress, you're going to breathe faster than 15 times. You're going to do 20 times per minute. And then by doing that, you die young. So quick and shallow breathing is the major aging factor. If you are aware of aging, change the way you breathe instead of buying more creams, whatever, for men or women. It's easy. Stress, of course, all these things in ages, but the breath is one of the most important factors. So now this is something else. The yogic breathing. When you practice yoga and we do a yogic breath, it's a full breath when you bring air to all the lobes of the lungs. It involves abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. So it's a deep breath, and you can do this to prepare for meditation. So it involves breathing the belly, and the chest, and the shoulders. And it's a long exhale. So this is something I want to share with you because it can help you to relax and to expand your breathing capacity. So if you have shallow breathing and you want to improve your breathing capacity, you can practice this yogic breathing or yogic breath. Okay, so basically you kind of breathe in the belly for 3, you breathe in your chest for 3, and you breathe in your shoulders for 3, and then you exhale for 9. So 3, pause, 3, pause, 3, pause. So the way you do is very easy. You bring your hand in your belly, and you breathe in your belly, feel you are going in your belly. Now bring your fingers like this on your ribs, and you will feel it in your ribs here. Can you see my hands? So it's wide. And then palms here. And you feel your hands going up. So what I want to do is the following. Like this. Belly. See that? Let me change the camera a little bit. Let me use the camera. You can see it there. Okay, so belly. That's a full breath. We're doing this for the only purpose of helping you increase your breathing capacity, okay? If you practice this for 5 minutes every morning, you're gonna breathe more efficiently during the day because you are, bringing a lot of air and you are stretching your muscles as well. So hands in your belly. and then your side, and then your top, and then you exhale. Okay? Is that all right? Can we do it together? So let me show you first, one last time. So we breathe in the belly for 1, 2, 3, on the wrist for 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah? Now, if you have challenging breathing deep, just use less air when you're breathing, okay? So let's do it together. Relax first. Before we start, deep inhale all the way in. Big exhale. So hands in your belly. Ready? In the belly for 1, 2, 3. Ribs. 1, 2, 3. Upper. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. In the belly for 1, 2, 3. Ribs for 1, 2, 3. Upper chest for 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. In the belly for 1, 2, 3. Side raise for 1, 2, 3. Upper chest for 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold. You can close your eyes, lower your gaze. In the belly for 1, 2, 3. Hold. In the side raise for 1, 2, 3. Hold. In the upper chest for 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the belly for 1, 2, 3. Hold. In the side raise for 1, 2, 3. Hold. In the upper chest for 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep going and keep counting yourself. Now make it effortless. So if you are trying very hard, make sure that you do it gentle. Gentle. Softening the body. Allow yourself to relax when you breathe. Okay? The next exhale, when you finish, coming back to your normal breathing. Normal breathing in the nose and out to the nose. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How do you feel? You can put in the chat there if you want to share something. You feel relaxed, that's great. You feel that it was challenging, that's also great because it gives you an idea of where you're at and it gives you room for improvement to improve more. So this is something. You sleep like a baby. Oh, that's good. I'm just reading the comments here. Do this every day, every morning. It will open up. It will get you ready for the day. You know, in for three, in for three, in for three. You open your whole system up, and as you do it, you will start becoming. Your breath become easier and easier. Now, to finish, I want to share something that at the beginning I spoke about the autonomous nervous system or autonomic nervous system. So the way to treat your autonomic nervous system is to change the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Some of you know this already. So if you want to relax, like go to bed, go to sleep, if you are very awake in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, or if you are very stressed and you need to relax, the way you do it, you inhale for the count of 4 and you exhale for the count of 8. So in the nose for 4, out the mouth for 8. Okay? And that's how you do it. In for 4, out for 8. You can do this every time you go to sleep as well. So relax there, you're ready to sleep. In for 4, out for 8. And that's going to relax you. You're going to bring you back to a parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest. Okay? If you feel stressed, you can do that as well. If you are talking to someone and you feel a bit agitated, before you start saying things you will regret, say, give me 1 moment. And you go to the bathroom and you stay there for 5 minutes and you breathe in for 4, out for 8, and then you come back. And you will be much more relaxed. Okay? In for 4, out for 8. Okay? That's it. Pretty much that's our class. Any questions? Please feel free to ask any questions. This is the time for question before we go. As I mentioned, especially if you join the class late because of whatever the reasons, I'm recording the class and I will send it by email tomorrow, okay? So you can review the content from the beginning. Any questions, any comments, which is valuable? I hope, you took something out of today. Yeah, no questions? Right. Now I have a free meditation as well. You can use, and you can use to relax. I will send it to you as well. You can have it. Now, before I go, I just want to share a few things coming up. If you give me just 2 minutes, I'll share a few things with you. Every Sunday, I run a breathwork journey in Yandina. So I hope to see you there this Sunday or whenever you can make it. We breathe for longer. And it's a really good community to connect with other people, like-minded people. Then we go for breakfast. I'll answer your question, Vic, in a moment, okay? So we have breathwork journey on Sundays. Then we have a half-a-day men's retreat. So if you know about any men who would like to bring some more mindfulness and breathing techniques into their lives, it's a great community. I think some of you already booked. So it's on Saturday, the 8th of March in the sunny coast. It's a community event, so it's a more affordable than usual event. Hope you can join us. And if you know about any man, please share it with them. That would be great. This is on the 15th of February. It's a breathwork, sound journey, and yin yoga. This is great for breathing, by the way, because yin yoga allows you to open up your body. It's a slow type of yoga, and it's for everyone. Very slow sound journey and breathwork to relax, reset, and reconnect. It's for anyone, but because it's Valentine's Day, the day before, perhaps you can come with your partner. It's a really good way to connect deeper as well. And finally, we're going to Bali again. This is our 5th retreat. It's like 7 days of all this stuff. We go very deep. It's a very transformational retreat we have done. This is the 6th. Yeah, So some of you have been there already. So I hope some of you can join us. And that's it. That's all my marketing stuff at the end. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your time. Vic, you asked about if you would like to teach factory workers to move and work faster. Yes, so a way to relax is to exhale for longer, right? So you inhale for 4, and then you exhale for 8. The opposite will cause the opposite effect. So if you inhale for longer and you have a very short exhale like this, that's going to activate you. I feel activated already, right? So by doing the opposite, you will get activated and you will have more energy. Which, if someone has low energy, will help them have more energy, okay? However, what we're doing here, we're activating the autonomous nervous system, which means we'll give someone stress. So if someone has low energy, because physiologically has low energy, this will bring energy to the body. However, if someone has low energy because it's in a negative mental state, and you do this, this might increase the negative mental state. So we need to make sure that the person who is doing the breath is because physiologically doesn't have energy, or it is in a negative state, which is not engaged with the job or doesn't want to do it, or is in a negative place. Because if the person doesn't have the energy to do something because it is a negative state, doing the energizing breathing might bring more negativity to the person. Did I explain myself clear? Yeah? Good. So if that's the case, the first thing you do, you get them to relax first. That's why when I do a breathwork journey, I always get people to relax first. I will always do in for 4, out for 8. So if you want to inspire people to work, that's different. You relax them first. You get them out of the fight or flight mode. So if you want to inspire someone, you will relax them first. You do in for 4, out for 8. In for 4, out for 8. And then and after that, you can energize them, which you should do deep inhale, short exhale. Okay? So that will bring it back to center first. So we take them away from any stress, and then you energize them. Okay? Is that helpful? Yeah? Tiago? Your throat, can you breath? Well, I cannot help you with that because I don't know what that would be. That you say that when you inhale, your throat, cut your breath. It could be because you get it's dry. It could be dry, or it could be that you are thinking too much when you breathe in, and that happens. It's like we are so self-aware what we're doing that we might self-sabotage because the body doesn't want to do that. It's like when you are under stress, you are under stress for a reason. And it's your body or your nervous system perceiving that there is some threat, that there is danger. You might have nothing around you. You might have nothing around you. Let me stop this. Thank you, Vic and George. If anyone needs to leave, please leave. It's okay. I understand it's late. So if you need to leave, please leave. Otherwise, you can stay. I will answer for a few more questions. So when the nervous system perceives there is danger around you, you might have nothing around you to give you danger. But if you perceive there is danger, your nervous system will keep you alert and will not let you relax. Because the purpose of the nervous system making you stress is to help you survive, right? And the danger might not be real, but if you perceive there is danger, if you perceive that your colleague is danger, if you perceive that your partner is danger because of whatever happened, you will be stressed by being with your partner. You feel like your life might be threatened, and it might not be true, be real, but the nervous system acts like that. So if you feel stress and you have acute stress, it might take some time for you to start relaxing because your body will not allow you to, because the body wants you to survive. Understand? So it takes some time. What I would suggest is that start with shorter breath. You can do in for 2, out for 4. And then you increase one number. So in for 2, out for 4. And then you do in for 3, out for 8. And do that. And then if you want to do you can do the other one, the yogic breathing. Okay? But first of all, you want to relax. And it takes time. And if you can't do the full yogic breathing because it's too much, you do in for 2 in the belly, 2 in the chest, and 2 up here. So then it's 6 and then 6. And then you start expanding your capacity. Okay? Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Really appreciate your time. I hope to see you soon. Vic and Jody will come to Bali with us. I know that. Anyway, see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.